all came back to her, earth and love and doom. The moment she recovers her memory, what for all that thing, all came back to her. She has been associated with them through the cycle, but they are coming back again now in a very decisive way. You see. The ancient disputants encircled her like giant figures wrestling in the night. The giant, who is wrestling? Earth and love and doom. Giant figures. They are wrestling in the night. What are these three? Earth and love and doom. The goddess born from the dim inconscient born. All the three are born from inconscience. The earth, love and doom. And because they are born in inconscience, they are at dispute with each other, quarreling with each other, fighting against each other, earth and love and doom. The ancient disputant, ancient, starting from the creation of the earth itself. In fact, even perhaps a little earlier than that. Well, love, is he born from inconscience? Love, is he born from inconscience? No, he is not born from inconscience. He has taken birth in inconscience. When the four powers in the mother story, when the four powers went very far away from the divine origin and the horror of separation was seen, then the Supreme plunged himself into that zero. And who is the Supreme who has plunged? Love. Supreme, because of his love for this creation, he himself plunged into this horror of separation which is there in the zero. So it is the love. Therefore, he is in a way, he is born in inconscience, not born from inconscience in that sense, you see. Born. Therefore, he is all now connected with inconscience. In fact, in the story of Savitri, who is that love? Satyavan himself, who is now in the grip of death. Who is in the grip of death. He has taken the path. Mother says that when the separation took place, then the divine plunged himself into the void. And that is the first avatar. And that first avatar is love. That first avatar is Satyavan. He is in a certain sense, therefore, the permanent avatar. He is the permanent avatar, you see. The avatars, other avatars come, do their work and pass on the baton to other avatars. But Satyavan is present permanently in the void for a certain purpose. It is only Savitri who can pull him out of that grip, remove that grip of death from him. So that is love. Earth, because this horror was seen, and there has to be a redemption from that. Earth was created as a significant center in the inconscience to carry out the evolution. Therefore, Earth was born in the inconscience. And because Earth was born in the inconscience, was created in the inconscience, she was forgetful of her fate and her destiny and of her spirit in her life. She was forgetful of that, you see, because she was born doomed. The moment life appeared on the scene, the response from the inconscience to life was death, the opposition, the response. That is coming from inconscience again. And in that sense, earth and love and doom were the three disputants from the inconscient born. From the inconscient born. Awoke to struggle in the pan divine. Now, struggle. Now, this is the dispute. Awoke to the struggle and the pan divine. Pan divine felt by Savitri. All came back to her. That pang came back to her, divine. And in the shadow of a flaming heart, at the somber center of a dire debate, the guardian of the unconsoled abyss, inheriting the long agony of the globe, long agony born since then, you see, stole still figure of high and godlike pain, stared into space with fixed, regardless eyes, regardless. He's constantly seeing that saw timeless depths, but not life's goal. What all this thing for? That does not see. Who? The godlike pain which is there. Now, so that is the memory Savitri is recollecting now. The ancient disputants all came back to her, all the three disputants, earth, love, and doom, and how the pang divine arose because of separation, because of separation. And all this thing is guarded by whom? At the somber center of the dire debate, a guardian of the unconsoled abyss, unconsoled, which cannot be consoled at all. God-like pain. In fact, peace capital. It is God who himself has become pain. It is bliss who himself has become pain. In the story of separation, who is after all pain? It is bliss himself who has become pain. Therefore, is God-like. In other words, the purpose of his becoming pain is something to bring out the true bliss out of all these things. Stared into space, stared. Now he is looking. It is he now, that pain, who is looking for what? The original bliss. Stared into space with fixed, regardless eyes that saw grief's timeless depths, eternal depths of grief, permanent depths of grief. It is he. He is seeing that thing, but not, he is only seeing the grief part alone, but not what it is for, the life's goal. It is not. Now it is the fulfillment. Savitri has to accept this timeless depth and also see life's goal, which the God-like pain is not doing. In the case of Savitri, memory's casement bring back the past time, even the beginning of time, how things started. She is getting awake to it. Earth and love and doom start occupying the significant place that needs the most careful attention of Savitri. There is awakening in Savitri. She was lying between the two realms. Now she is awakening to this reality. When mind and senses and life's instincts were inattentive, bodies called forth the window to get open and stood in front of her, earth and love and doom. She lays her hand upon her bosom, Savitri, and feels the lingering ache, the ache that has been there since the beginning of spiritward march of man. It is the body's pain, the physicals, the difficulty not of the vital, nor of the mind, nor of the psycho-spiritual, but of the physical. That is what she is seeing here. With that ache, the memory's casements open, and the issue stands in front of her in all its bareness, in all its nakedness. That is an original challenge, and Savitri awakes to it. Savitri is awakening to it. Savitri is accepting, means when Savitri is awakening to it, what does it mean? It means that Savitri is yogically prepared to carry it forward her work. When she is accepting that, acceptance means her yogic preparation to meet, to face the issue. When she is awakening here to this one, she saw life's timeless grief. She saw that she is yogically now ready to accept the challenge, to accept the difficulty, to solve it without, in a way, kind of doing conscious yoga for a specific purpose, she is now automatically ready yogically to meet the timeless depths of grief. She is ready to meet. Yogically, you see, she is ready now. That is what it means, you see. Well, let us read here. In this ancient issue are involved the three disputants, earth, love, and do. They are there right from the beginning. See, in the formation of the mortal world, earth is center of all the evolutionary manifestation. Divine love has plunged into the depth of darkness, into the void, that alone it be relieved, filled it up. That is the starting point. And there is the struggle to come out of it, for it to emerge in the nature of new creation. But that emergence is being opposed by the primordial doom, by death, by ancient adversary. The power of inconscience itself is acting antagonistically. So these are the three ancient disputants, and Savitri is awaking to the reality of their presence. She has to meet them. She has to deal with them. All come back to her, earth and love and doom, with their powers and their possibilities. Indeed, eventually, she must discover the truth of doom itself. Why the doom is there? Why the pain is there? Its intended reality, that it becomes a glorious participant in the great evolutionary creation. According to the Greek mythology, first came chaos, then came earth, and then came love. See, there is a kind of an echo in the Shabanu singing. In the power of love, it is the power of love, Plato says in his symposium, which is going to solve the problem of this creation. Plato has that intuition. So he has already some kind of an intuition about this thing, that it is the power of divine love which alone can solve the problem of this creation. Now, we do not have such a description anywhere in our Indian tradition, in the Indian mythology, in the Indian Puranas, in the Indian scriptures. The Veda does say that in the beginning was a sea of darkness, but the dispute between these three powers, that is not there in the Indian tradition. So these three disputants actually really do not belong to the past Indian knowledge. Partly it is coming from the Greek thought, Greek intuition, and of course more fully from Shabanu's own occult experience and realization and seeing things through him. That is the greatness, you see. So, in that sense, Savitri is combining, epic Savitri is combining both the Western intuition of the three disputants of love and earth and doom, and the Vedic concept of creation. Various traditions are combined here, but it is not the aspect of combining that we have here. Shivantu is not synthesizing in that sense, combining here that we hear. It is the truth that has been realized and experienced. Actually, it is not combining, it is that which is seen behind them all, behind the whole thing. There is a kind of partial knowledge in the Greek tradition. There is an unsaid ocean of knowledge in the rich Indian tradition that was not fully expressed at all. In fact, there was no necessity to do that. The Indian tradition has no necessity to do that, as it was immediately grasped by the knower of things. They understood. They didn't have to explain by writing a prose essay, you see. It is in it knowers were speaking to knowers. So it is that which is prompting Savitri to resume her unfinished work. All, all came back to her. That is why all came back to her. So the Greek tradition is there very distinctly saying it is perhaps unwritten document in the Indian tradition, but Savitri is now awakening to all this. All came back to her. Earth and love and doom, the ancient disputant, encircled her like giant figures wrestling in the night. So, this is a real struggle. Possibly without that, there cannot be any progress also under the view. As if this weird creation was meant to be that way, to progress with struggle. If there has to be a divine manifestation, if that intention is there behind it, it must meet the challenge of the darkness. It must find its way out through it. But the dreadfulness of it is something beyond our comprehension.